Okay, now let's look at the second portion of your study guide, and this is going from a polar coordinate to a rectangular coordinate, an XY coordinate. So we're going backwards from what we did on the first part. Okay, so starting off with number 2A, first thing we want to do is figure out where it is. We want to plot the point. And so this gives me a radius of 5, positive 5. And if you look, the radius is either going to be positive or negative. If it's positive, we start on the right side on the x-axis. So we'll start over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going in the negative direction. We're going we're going clockwise. Clockwise is the negative direction. So we're going 270 degrees, so I'm going this way. That's 90 degrees, 180, 270. So my point is right there. And so what we want is the XY coordinate. What is that XY coordinate? And it is 0, 5. Okay? Let's do the same thing on 1B. Let's plot -4, 3 pi over 4. So the radius is -4. So we're going to start on the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going in the positive direction, and we're going 3 pi over 4. So a pi over 4 is 45 degrees. So we're going 3 pi over 4 in the positive direction. So there's pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, right in the middle of the fourth quadrant. Okay? So what you can do now, look at your coordinates on the unit circle. The unit circle, if the radius was 1, the radius is 1, what is this coordinate? Right in the middle. This coordinate will be √2 over 2, negative √2 over 2. But my radius is not 1. My radius is 4. And so I'm going to multiply this coordinate, √2 over 2, negative √2 over 2, by 4. So 4 times √2 over 2, and 4 times negative √2 over 2. Okay? Well, this simplifies down. This 2 goes into 4 2 times, so this is 2 √2, and this will be negative 2 √2. So my answer, 2 √2, negative 2 √2. Okay? Now let's look at 1C. All right, so they give us the radius of 8, and they want us to go 1.28. Well, I need to figure out how far is that. So 1.28 is a radian. If I want to make it a degree, we'll just multiply it times 180 over 3.14. So 1.28 times 180 divided by 3.14. So I get 73.4 degrees. 73.4 degrees. All right, so we're in the first quadrant. On the right side, first quadrant. If we go up 73.4 degrees, we would be about right there. Okay. And so what we've got to do, we've got to figure out the x and the y. Well, we have our degree, that's 73.4. And so what you can do, since I know my radius is 8, so we know our radius is 8. So if you look at this right triangle, 8, 73.4. Now let's find y. Okay, if we're going to find y, we use sine. So sine 73.4 equals y over 8, opposite over hypotenuse. 8 times sine 73.4 equals y. Let's do that in the calculator. 8 times sine 73.4. So my y value of my coordinate is 7.67. 7.67. All right. Now let's find the x part. To find x, we'll do cosine. So cosine 73.4 equals x over 8. 8 times cosine 73.4 equals x. Let's put that in the calculator. 8 times cosine 73.4. That is 2.29. Okay? So it's x comma y, so 2.29, 7.67 is my xy coordinate. All right, let's look at 2D. Okay, let's graph that. That is -5, -3.54. So the radius, we're going to start on the left side at -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are going in the negative direction. We're going in the clockwise direction. All right, so let's figure out, where is 3.54? So if we wanted to make that a degree, we could. .54 times 180 divided by 3.14. That is 202.9 degrees. 202.9 degrees. So we're going in the negative direction, so clockwise, 202.9 degrees. So that is 90 degrees. That's 180. And I need to go 22.9 degrees more. So remember that number, 22.9 degrees more. So like right there. Okay. Okay, so we've got to find our x, our y, and I know this is 22.9 degrees right there in that right triangle. Let me come down here and write it like this. 22.9 x, y, and my radius I know is 5. Okay, so let's do some trig to figure out our x and our y. Okay, so remember, whatever your calculator gives you, you just need to remember at the end when you write your answer, we're in the fourth quadrant. So that is a positive, negative answer. Your x is positive, your y is negative. So if we're going to find y here on this right triangle using sine, so we'd say sine 22.9 equals opposite over hypotenuse, y over 5. 5 times sine 22.9 equals y. So put that in the calculator. 5 times sine 22.9. That gives me y equals 1.95. But I know that my y value is negative in the fourth quadrant. So I'm just going to put a negative in front of that. All right, now let's find x. We'll use cosine. So cosine 22.9 equals x over 5. 5 times cosine 22.9 equals x. put that in the calculator. That gives me 4.61. And I know that's positive. So my answer, x comma y, 4.61, negative 1.95. Okay, so now let's do the last one. The last one is close to 2b. If you look at the radian, that's right on the unit circle. All right, so let's plot this point. We're starting on the right side because we're given a positive radius, so we'll start at positive 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're given a negative radian, so we're going negative direction, going clockwise, 7 pi over 4. So remember, pi over 4s are 45 degrees. So this would be 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4, right in the middle of my first quadrant. All right, so that tells me that this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. I know my radius is 10, and on the unit circle, that is root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2. Okay, but that's when the radius is 1. And so if the radius is 10, we're just going to multiply those root 2 over 2's by 10. So 10 times root 2 over 2, 10 times root 2 over 2. And that'll be my coordinate. But let's simplify it, because the 2 goes into 10. 2 goes into 10. So this is 5 root 2, 5 root 2. That's my answer.